Hi there, my name's Vince from my mate Vince, and in this video today, another episode of trying to fix up the cheapest Rolls Royce in the country. And it's the cheapest for a very good reason, because there's so many things wrong with it. But let's try and get the windscreen washers working. Now, if any of you've seen one of my earlier episodes, you will realise that they're not even connected, hence the reason they don't work. How did it get through the MOT? I don't know. But anyway, let's see if we can get them powering up and washing again. So if I go in here, I did this a few minutes ago and I did hear that it does sound like the motor's working. So watch this. If I do this one here to here, and if I do this, and they start working, but there's nothing coming out. But look here, when I do that there, can you see it is coming up here? So yeah, let's pop the bonnet and see if we can work out what's happening. Now, so I'll have to take all this off like I did before, but the reservoir for it is down here. Do you know what? I don't even know if there's any water in that or not. Really, we should fill it with water, but it's not connected, so I'm going to have to see what's happening. So what? Let's take off this panel up here. So I need to undo the screws here, 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 here. Some of them are missing. This comes off then. There's two more screws underneath here on both sides, and then you see I've got all these little bolts that I haven't put in properly from last time. There was a bolt missing here as well. So let's undo all them, and I have to take the wipers off. Wipers are easy to come off. All you have to do is lift these things off here and undo the big nuts on both sides. Okay, so I found this in the boot here. This is the wiper mechanism cover. Apparently it's quite dangerous, I was told, to have that off, because it's I suppose it's quite powerful. Maybe it could chop off a finger or two. Anyway, let's do this one now. So we're going to go here, push down like so, go around the other side, down like so, and this will lift off. Let me go the other side again. There we go. Right, and if you have a look now, let's put it all the way over here. You can see that this is missing. So, and it's been plugged. So originally, see, that's been masticed in place there. So I'm going to have to get a new one of them, I think. I'll undo that later and see what's happening. But it looks like the plastic must have broke off. So yeah, I'm going to have to get a replacement one of them, because I don't really think that's going to be a lasting repair. Anyway, I'm not worried about that right now. Let's see if we can find out where the actual pipework is feeding it. Well, hold on a minute. Onto here, I can actually see a pipe in here. Here. And that connects onto that bit there and goes across down there, which then goes, let's have a look. So from here, I mean, what is this thing? Why have we got that there? Is that a little joiner, or is that some kind of, not sure what that's about. Why do we need that on it? Looks all clogged up. Anyway, goes along here, down here, along here, so it goes down here, comes up here, along, down here, and then it comes through here, goes round into, must be just the bottom of this. So let's fill this with water. I mean, the pipework looks intact, and also it still feels quite supple. You know, it hasn't gone rock hard. I just think maybe there's an issue with that bit there. Possibly. But anyway, we should see water shooting out there, shouldn't we? Right, so I've taken this out. I'm going to wash this out inside, because you can see this is like a little gauze to stop debris from getting in there, and there is some stuff stuck at the bottom. Right, okay, they've put it in quite an awkward place, because it's right down the very front here. I think you'd struggle if you had a pint of water or something. I think it'd be quite hard to do. we're full. Amazing. That really does take a huge amount of water. Excellent. Okay. Let's see now what's going to happen, whether it's going to shoot out of that black pipe there. Right, if I press this, is it going to go? Oh, whoa, did you see that? Yes, excellent. So it works. So all I need to do is... What's this? Excellent, it's got quite a bit of power to it as well. Not quite as good as I thought. What do you notice about this car? It's a heap of rubbish. You look like Del Boy. That's more than just a rain trickle dripping off, isn't it? Can you see we got that there? And we've got that there. And that's coming down quite, that's a nice trickle. And watch this. When I fill it up, the level just starts going down again. We got a leak. Right, let me show you. And watch the level go down. So we'll fill it to the very top. Right, okay, so we're at the top now. Yeah. And watch. Can you see? It's just working its way down. And that's not an airlock or anything, because I've filled it a couple of times now. Still going, still going. Now having a quick look here. Can you see there? Looks like it goes down. So we've got this bit here that you fill up with, but then it actually goes down in there somewhere through kind of the bodywork. So there must be a bigger tank down under here somewhere, which is a bit irritating. So yeah, let's look at the little washer bit first and then find out why it's leaking. That must have, well, I presume the reservoir's cracked or something, which is a real shame. I mean, I might be lucky, it could be just that the pipes come loose, but I don't think so, because the pipe is shooting water through it. And I think if the pipe was loose, I think maybe it would lose pressure there. So I think probably the reservoir's gone. Oh, let me sit myself down on the wet bench. Okay, now let's see if I can undo these. Do you know what? Maybe I can use that screw somewhere. Might be from some other part of the car. Oh, okay, so it's just a little plastic thing. Really, I don't need to get Rolls Royce ones, do I? Any ones will do. I wonder, are they twin jet? Okay, so we have a washer, a rubber washer, and this. That's just a single jet. Now, what's happening with this? This is all masticed in. Let's see if I can scrape away this gunk. There we go. Oh, actually, do you know what? I will have to get Rolls Royce ones, because there's a little key on it. Can you see that there's a little bit there that sticks up just at the top here? And if you look closely here, you can see that they are keyed there and also there as well. Right, okay. Well, I'm thinking surely they can't be too expensive. Right, I'm not 100% sure what's happening here, but I've just got a funnel, and it only took about half a pint to actually fill it. Maybe a pint, between half a pint and a pint to fill it. So it can't be leaking that bad. And if you look now, it's kind of died off. It's still dripping away here, but there is an awful lot of water around here because it's been raining all day anyway. Now I've had a little look underneath, but it's just not the best day to be lying on the ground. And I'll have to show it again, I think, on a better day. But basically, we have got a covering under here, and then underneath this bit here, that's where the water is, the bottle just here, this white thing here. Yep. So I think what I might do, because I don't really know if it's leaking or not, I think I'm going to undo that bolt here and then that will separate the top half from the bottom half. Maybe it's gone at the seal there and it's kind of leaking out just this top half, because that probably would be a good half a pint, between half a pint and a pint. So I think I'm going to do that, and then with the funnel I can pour water directly into the bottom thing, and I might be able to visibly see whether the water's dropping from there. So it might not actually be bad news. I'm just going to get a socket set and undo that one there. So while we're struggling with this, let's give a shout out to the My Mate Vince Massive. And this month the members are kitdigital.com, Kip Hakes, Max Rokotansky, Having Fun Repairs, Ellensburg Amplifier Repair and Service, Will Michaelis, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeeps.com, King Kurd from Lowbrook Auto Sales, DJVG, Stuart Park, Ellis Garbett, Pigsy, the My Mate Vince Fan Club, Braden Butts from Connecticut, Kenneth Blenstrop Sorensen, Simba Tinaboo, Gabe McCandless, and Extreme 401. I think I did pretty good considering I've got COVID. Voiceovers are not the easiest things to do when you're completely bunged up. Anyway, let's get back to the times when I didn't have COVID. Yes, you beauty. Yes, and we have a rubber O-ring. To be fair though, it doesn't look like it's wet up here. Now, what I'm going to do is fill up that bottom one. In fact, I can see water in it. I'm going to fill up the bottom one to the top. That might give us an idea then. Let's take this off, see if I can show it to you. I forgot my torch today as well, my flashlight. So if you have a look, can you see in that hole there? There, you can see the water wiggling it when I push the car up and down. There. So I am going to fill that up to the brim. Right, we are overflowed. Now, let's see if it's going to go down. Well, it's definitely dropping. I wonder, is it coming from the pipe work or the actual tank itself? And why has it dropped that first bit and then stopped? You know, like when we took it apart, it was about that level, wasn't it? But it was a bit lower. Unless it is just dripping out ever so slightly. Well, we can definitely see it's dropped, so I think further investigation is needed. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a day for today, because I don't want to lie down underneath here and get sopping wet. So I'll come back, hopefully maybe tomorrow, it might be dry, and then I can actually get under the car and physically see where the pipe attaches to the reservoir. So fingers crossed it'll be nice and dry tomorrow. Hello again. So it's the next day now, and interestingly I've just popped the bonnet, and look here, down here, the water level is the same as it was yesterday. So can you see there? When I shake the car, hopefully you can just see it rippling around. Now, I was editing back the video last night. It's amazing when you see something, when you kind of stand back and look at something. Water was pouring from here and here, wasn't it? Do you remember? It was cascading down. I thought it was just finding its way out and leaking randomly. But what do we have roughly in those two locations? We have the window washer, not the window, the lens, the headlight washer, apologies, and the headlight washer here. Now, look at the level of this in here. So we know now it's not leaking from there downwards, but it's leaking up here quite rapidly, yeah? The level of that is roughly around here when you go to the inside, which is level with this. So do you know what I think's happening? I think water finds its own level, doesn't it? People used it years ago for building, because you can measure great distances and water will find its level perfectly. So what's happening is these are the two lowest points, hence the reason it's leaking from there. So I don't think we need to worry about the reservoir itself, this thing here. I think we need to concentrate on what's going on behind here and behind here, because they're the parts, now I'm sure of it, that's where it's leaking from. So if I fill that up now, it's going to leak from there and there again until it gets to that level, and then it will be happy there. So why is water draining out to that level. Obviously it shouldn't be, but it must be a common thing on all cars with headlight washers. There has to be something to stop the water from coming through. Now, having a look under here, they're kind of very hard to get to. In fact, I haven't even seen anything to do with this yet. But we already know from an earlier episode that the valance is completely wrong. I mean, look at that bit there. You can see it just under the bumper. Look at that bit completely tucked away. So I'm going to try and remove the valance. Hopefully once I remove the valance, it will give me access to underneath here. Now, to remove it, I think I need to first of all remove this thing. So it looks like there's a bolt here, a bolt's missing from here, and it looks like we have a bolt here and also back there. That will hopefully remove that, and then I think we'll see that there's going to be screws holding this in. I can see there's a whole row of screws going along down there. So yeah, first of all, let's try to get this out, because this does need fixing anyway, or realigning. I don't think I'm going to have any screws to do that in this episode, but if we take it off, at least it will give us access to this one thing at a time.
Now, if this was a new car, the valance would come undone okay, because all the bolts would be new, but unfortunately this has had 30 years being exposed to the elements, and every single bolt is just rusted. So the nuts are actually undoing, but they only undo a couple of turns before the bolt shears off. So it doesn't matter if I use WD-40 or not, it's just the bolts themselves that are weak. So yeah, it comes off easy enough. It's just when I come to put it back, not in this episode, but in a future episode, I'm going to have to do a lot of making good to the bolts, because some of them are hidden, so they will need to be welded back in place. But you know what? Like I keep saying, we'll worry about it further down the line. Let's just get this job done, and then we can worry about other jobs later on.
Here we go, that bolt came out as well. Now let me push that nut through, and I think that should be it. Excellent. Yes. Right, so we've got some little metal plate here that goes on top of it. Got a little rubber thing here. Okay. This is all chalked up here. I wonder if this is from a scrapyard maybe. UB70432. Yeah, I reckon maybe this is, I wonder if this is from another car. Anyway, let's remove the valance, and then we can worry about that in another episode, and let's see what's under this car. So what do you think? I'm still confused about this, because when you look here you think it's a purpose-built curve, but it's not curving from here, which is the middle, it's curving from here. Should that be dead straight? I mean, it looks like it's all over the place. Look at it from a distance. Watch. Put it down here. I'll put it upside down. It doesn't look right. Can you see that side there's touching? That side there's not. And look, there's it really kinked up here. That bit there. I wonder, should that be straight all the way across? You know, like this. I reckon, you know, what about if I was to get the heat gun on it from a distance to heat it up? Would that put it back into, I mean, I don't want to melt it. Not the heat gun, how about the hairdryer? Would that put it back into shape? If you can add it down to the comments if you know. Okay, we can see so much more now. Now look over here. This is the washer bottle. And what's amazing is this little tube is the one that goes up to feed the windscreen, which you think is the most important one. But look how heavy duty the tube is that goes off to feed the actual washers. So it goes down here, down here, down here, down here to this T here, and then from here one goes up here and feeds this one, and the other one goes across here to feed that one there. So why would gravity be causing that to come out there? It's still not clear where this leak is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a funnel, I'm going to pour water in, and hopefully now we'll be able to see where the actual water is dripping out. Okay, so I've got my funnel set up here, and I'm just going to pour some in really carefully, trying not to spill it anywhere other than in the funnel. I don't believe it, I missed completely. See, I only wanted to get it in the funnel so I can see where it's leaking. can't believe I missed it so bad. Right, we're full to the brim now, so where are you coming out of? See, this is why I didn't want to miss, because right now it's leaking everywhere. Ah, but it's not leaking over here. Right, okay. It shouldn't have gone all the way over here. So where's that, how's it getting down to there? How are you getting down to there so quick? I wonder, is it leaking underneath this and coming across? Yeah, the level's slowly falling. I'm gonna have to pop this off here, aren't I? And see what's going on there. Okay, I can see a couple of screws. Maybe I'll try to take out the washer. Can't even see where it's dripping down from. Surely after doing all the work on the valance, I'm gonna have to fix this. Right, so you can see that there's a screw here, and also there's a screw behind this pipe. Let me undo those two screws, see if I can pull this out. I'm hoping then it's going to be wet. It has to be coming from there, surely. Going on the inside there and dripping down inside by the number plate. It has to be. Amazing. It's coming undone really easy. Fantastic. So is that side, they're both out. Now is this going to come out? Okay, so you can adjust the angle of the water. I've got it wiggling, it's just not wanting to push outwards. So it's here, you see, and I can't get the actual washer bit out, but if I put my hand in here, it definitely is wet. I don't know how you're supposed to get that out. Oh, hold on a minute, I think this whole bumper's on a spring, so you can actually, I think you can pull the bumper back in towards the car. Look. Can you see there? Because from the inside I kind of pushed it in. There's a spring down here. Looks like the whole bumper moves in. Spring-loaded bumpers. There we go. I'm free. Right, so there you go. Can you see? It's flooding out with just gravity. Look. Why are you flooding out with gravity? That's not right, is it? So I suppose what was happening is it was just slightly coming out here, running down and going along. Because now when I go up high, it's not doing it. Okay, I think we need to undo that, let all the water out. I think we need to take the one out of the other side as well. I think we need to give them a really good clean with IPA, see if we can work out what's happening in there. There must be some kind of little ball bearing on a spring or something, and it needs to release when the pressure of the pump pushes the water through. But right now it's just pouring out. Well, there we go. Interesting. Right, let's undo this here. I have to show you the bumper as well on the spring. Amazingly, the hoses are still really supple. Right, so a load of water is going to fly out of that now. I'll let it drain away, it's only water. So it's this thing here that I need to fix. Anyway, let me show you this spring thing, if I can. So to get it out, what I did was, you see here, can you see a little spring just here? So I got my screwdriver and I wedged it between here and here and I moved it back. See there? Like that. And that gave me access to it then. So I'm going to do the same on the other side, pop it out, and then let's see if we can fix them. I wish I had my blue mat here, because it'd be a perfect job for the blue mat. Okay, I've undone the 2 screws. Let me now see how easy it is now that I know what I'm doing on it. So at the moment it's not coming out, so let's get the bumper and force it back. Force it back more, and out it comes. There we go. Nice and easy. Everything's easy when you understand it. Right, now I wonder, is this one faulty as well? I suppose what I have to do is fill it up with water, have this one down low, and see if this one's leaking. Well, that one's not leaking, so that one's behaving itself, isn't it? Look, nothing coming out of that one. And if I put that one down to this level, you'll see it will come out. So it was the other one that's leaking. That's great. So maybe I can take that one off, blow through it, and I might get an idea once I've cleaned it up of how much kind of resistance you need before it frees itself. Oh, well, that's interesting. I thought they were both leaking, but I suppose that would be unlikely for both of them to fail. Fine when I blow through this. It's exactly the same. Which doesn't make sense to me. Let me see if I just do it really lightly. Nah, they're the same. I would say that this one should be leaking as much as this one. Right, let me get the hose again. Let's just make sure that we're not incorrect. Right, so that's on there. And it's definitely not leaking. Let me try the good one on here. Do you know what? It might not be these things that are faulty. It might be that T-junction. Now, let me see if this leaks. No, it doesn't. Brilliant. This is like a blue mat fix-it video. Right, okay. It's not these that are faulty. Now, let's go over to the other side. 1 second. I've just got my hoses up high in the £9,000 grill. Now, if we put the bad one in here, let's see if it's going to leak. Yes, it's coming out. Okay, now we're going to put the good one in here. I bet the good one's going to leak as well. It's got nothing to do with these. It's going to be something in there. Ready? Excellent. It's not these. Do you know what? This is my favourite video, because I love fault finding like this. It's something in here. It has to be, because one side's working, one side's not. The valve in here has got stuck. So let it just all drain away, and then we can yeah, take apart that valve. Maybe we can clean it up. Fantastic. And hopefully when we blow in that, we'll be able to tell the resistance coming out of both sides. Result. There we go. Might as well keep that up high actually. So in here, yes, all coming through that side. Let's see if I can undo these. I need to mark the side up that's faulty, don't I? There we go. Okay. Yeah, so when I blow the wrong way, it doesn't go through this side, but this side it does. Wow, you need an awful lot of force. I can't do that with my mouth, but I suppose the motor's doing a lot more force than that. So now, obviously, this is not repairable as it is. But I wonder, has it just got kind of silted up? I wonder if I was to pour IPA in there. Well, to begin with, I'm going to put WD-40 everywhere on the inside, and then I'm going to clean it all with IPA, just to see if there's any way it can free up. Or close up again, really, not free up, close up. Let me get something that I can poke in there and move around the place. I wonder how it's done on the inside. Fortunately, this doesn't come apart, does it? No, this is all sealed. No, I think it's like plastic welded here and here. Well, I can't get it to work just by running water through it and blowing in and out of it. It's weird because one side's completely free, the other side, it doesn't matter. Even if I block up this side with my thumb, I can blow as hard as I can and nothing's happening. So I thought I'd put it in a pan of boiling water. It's broken now anyway, just in case it does freeze something up. Unfortunately, the boiling didn't make any difference. I was also just gently pressing in here and in here, trying to sort of loosen things up, and then what happened was this pierced one side of it. So now when I blow through it, it's coming out of both sides, so it's basically acting as a T-junction now. So if I put it on now, all that will happen is it will leak out of both of the headlight washers, which is not what I want. So I'm going to see if I can get one online. I'll also see how much the original Rolls Royce part is. If it's extortionate, then I'll have to make do with something else. Annoyingly, this diameter here seems to be about 10 mil. The pipework is pretty thick feeding this one here. So looking on Halfords, they do have inline valves for only a couple of pounds. They're really cheap, but they're 5mm, so they're not going to be big enough. But I don't know, I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world just to redo the pipework completely to here using fresh. Well, saying that, I can't, can I? Because it's 10mm on here. The washer jets themselves are going to be 10mm, aren't they? Yeah, they're the same size as that there. So yeah, it looks like I do have to try to get something which is 10mm. Anyway, I don't know how long that's going to take, so I'm going to put that to one side for a minute, but at least we prove what the problem is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fit on the washer jets back onto here. So we've got one original one, and what I did is I bought two Halfords ones. They are just single jet to match the original. The price of the original one, I only found one place selling it, and it was £18 something. So well, I got these for like £2.50 each. So I'm going to see what these look like. They should be okay. I mean, at the end of the day, does it really need to be a Rolls Royce part? So I might just, looking at them, I might just fit both new ones, and then I know it's all nice and new, and then I can just keep this one as a spare. So let's just do that now. Now these haven't got the little cutout, the little key bits. You know, these ones had a little key, didn't they? So that they, when they were in, they couldn't turn. But these ones are on a bit of rubber, so really they shouldn't twist anyway. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like, which I think will look just fine. Now, because you've got a metal nut here screwing onto plastic, what I'm going to do is, the next video is going to be trying to fix the windscreen. So I've got this like black gunk stuff, and it's supposed to be really good at sealing things. So I am just going to put a little layer of that around here and here now, just to stop those screws from vibrating loose. I'm going to let that go hard. And yeah, I need to call it a day on the video there for a bit until I get the replacement part here. So I'll order it online and see what I can do. Right, so I took this apart just to see how it works. This is the good side. I couldn't take the bad side off, annoyingly. But basically, what happens is, this thing sits in here like that. And then it has a little plastic washer for the spring to sit against. So essentially, all that's happening is, when you blow through here, it's going to come straight through here, but not when this rubber is sealed against the end there. So now if you were to blow through it, it's not going to come through. But then as more pressure comes, the pressure overcomes the spring. And then, so right now it's like this, you blow through this bit here and it can't get past here. But then as the pressure comes from the water pump, it pushes this in a bit, and then the water's going to come around here, go through and out this bit here. But that's only when the pump is putting pressure on the water. The gravity of the water from siphoning out won't be enough to push that spring. So yeah, that's it. Now annoyingly, you can't buy these. The Rolls Royce ones are out of stock on the places I've looked. And all the other ones that are available on for eBay and Amazon just seem to be really cheap ones. The reviews are not very good. And as well as that, they're for like 5mm ones. These are 10mm. Seriously heavy duty. So I don't know what to do.
Right, it's a few days later now, and you remember the size of the original part. A nice, big, healthy, strong part. Well, I tried to order some up from Halfords, and I clicked for store delivery. It said it was in stock, and then the next day nothing arrived, and then the day after that I got a phone call saying that they can't get hold of the part. So that was no good, so I had to resort to Amazon. Now, these are for sale everywhere. You ready for how small they are? I mean, they're cheap, but look at that. Oh, it's painful. Look at the size difference between them. Such a shame. So obviously this is just going to get completely lost in a pipe this big. I don't know what to do. So I think what I'm going to do is, I've got some piping that fits this stuff here. So I'm going to put the piping onto the terminals here, onto the ports, and then I'm going to see what the pipe looks like in here. I have also got some of this stuff. Which is what plumbers use, and it's really good stuff for sealing things. So maybe if the pipe is a nice fit in there, I can put a load of this around it and then have a good bit of pipe, not just a tiny bit, but a good bit. Maybe cable tie it, Jubilee clip it, hose clamp. You know, maybe it might work, I don't know. I think long term what I'm going to have to do is actually, because I've looked on eBay, I've looked everywhere now, these parts don't exist. I think I'm going to have to actually contact one of the sellers that break the Rolls Royces. They probably maybe never even thought, maybe it's not a common part that goes, they might have never thought to list it, but I'm sure they're going to have them. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. When I blow through this, nothing happens. I can't feel the air coming out here or here. No, you see, that's way too small. So now I'm going to have to get another pipe to put this into before it goes onto this. See, the thing is, I can't change it all with this pipe because look here. This is made for this size pipe in here, the 10mm piping. So, you know, I have to bodge this up here. See, I'm creating so much work for myself. I'm half tempted just to go round the breakers and see if I can get them to get me that part. But then again, is it going to work? I think for the time being anyway, let's try to get a bigger pipe now on top of this that will go in between there and there. Right, check this out. This is what's so good about having a shed that belongs to somebody that's been in the building trade all their life. So, got this hose pipe here. This fits into here perfectly. And this fits into here. Bit tight, but look, it fits in to there. So, if I now cut a bit of this pipe, put it onto this one and put it onto here, I think we will have success. These were like, I think £4 delivered for 2 of them. Alright, so you can see I'm on there now. Now what I'm going to do is put a little bit of this LSX on it. Obviously not in the hole. There we are, so that's going to be it. Whether or not it's going to work, I don't know. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this into here using just a force and a bit of water as well, or washing up liquid to get it in, and then I'm going to start clamping down and putting the pipe work that goes to each of the washers back on, in there and there and there, and then yeah, hopefully we can test it and we may be successful. Also need to put the scuttle panel back on, don't I? I think it's called that, I'm not sure if it is or not, and I need to get the hose and connect up the hose and stuff. So yeah, there's still quite a bit to do. I don't think I really need to film anymore now because everything's straightforward. This hose here is just going to, you know, that's just going to clip onto the other thing. You've already seen me put the new washer jets on. So I think next time you see this, it will be back together, and then I'll leave the testing for the camera so you can see whether it works or fails. Well, I think I'm ready to test. I haven't got the wipers on, but you can see now the pipework is routed around there. So I've clipped it to that side. It's still got that little valve there coming along the original piping, and then it splits and goes off in 2 different directions. To me, it looks like it's clearing underneath here. where the wiper mechanism is. But I won't know, maybe it will cut straight through the pipe, I'm not sure. Right, have a look down here now. I now have this top of the water bottle back in and bolted into place. And underneath here, I've got my one there. I haven't put the surround on yet. I still haven't got a surround for this side. I need to look into that. Probably another part that's impossible to get hold of. And it goes up there, and what I've done is I've tucked it all on with these little clips here. So from here it goes to the little T-junction in there somewhere, and then from there it splits off in 2 directions, all clipped away. Let's go in and see what's happening. Let's move all this out the way. I have to turn the headlights on in order to get the washers to work. Let me just sort this out here. Best seat covers around. Only joking, it's in my mate Vince hoodie. Right, now, here goes. Am I going to have enough power to start it? Come on. Yes! Come on. Oh, listen to that. Oh, the car's wobbling. How nice is that? Right, here goes. Oh, water. I need to put water. I wonder if there's any water left in it. Let's see. Yes, there is. Yes, it's working. I need to adjust them, but it's working. Right, so now if I turn the lights on, I wonder now, if I turn them on here, is that on? Yeah. Now, let's see if, I'm going to have to get my dad to sit in here and press that, and then we'll have a look out the front. So I've got the headlights on. I'm going to get my dad to press it now. Oh no! They're not working. And again. Right, okay. Well, these are definitely working here, but oh no, these are not working. So is it a motor problem? Okay, so what I've done now is I've filled up the water bottle completely, and now I've disconnected the pipe that feeds the new little T-valve that I put in. And then obviously it's just going to keep leaking out because it's below the bottle there. So I've just put the pipe up here, going round here, through here. Now, I'm not sure whether the pump would be strong enough to get all the way through there. I presume it would be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start it up, and I'm going to keep the headlights on and keep doing the windscreen washer thing. And then let's see eventually if water comes through here. If it doesn't, it says to me that it's more an electrical thing or the pump. If it does, it means that that T-valve that I've done is no good, because we definitely know that the jets are not blocked. Maybe it's just too, I don't know, maybe there's too much restriction on the water to make its way through to the jet. But let's see what's happening now. Right, okay, so I've got the engine on now, and when I do this here, it's working here, but there's nothing happening up there. Now I believe what happens is when you press this, it would just work for a predetermined amount of time, like 5 or 6 seconds. And it's not doing anything, but maybe it's just not working its way up the pipe work. So I'm going to get my dad to do this, and I'm going to have a look at the pipe work. Right, so I've got my dad in the car now. He's going to press it now. Right, well I can feel vibrating, but yet there's nothing happening here. I don't think there's any water moving there at all. Right, I can't really see any option here apart from to try and remove the water bottle completely. So I've taken the top bit out. Now that does uncover a screw, a bolt underneath it there. Maybe that will release it, I'm not too sure. You can see it's here. I've released the bolt from over this side here, so it's loose on this side. So I think it might be just the top one holding it in. Now I mean, it could be as simple as a fuse or something, but even when I wiggle this here, it's weeping from here. So I think I need to kind of take it apart anyway, take it out to see what's what. And then it will allow me to actually test the pump properly. Bit of a pain, but once I get it out, then at least hopefully I will then understand what's going on. Right, for such a big car, there's very, very little room to work. Anyway, you can see now it's dropped, but it's still full of water, so it's incredibly heavy. Let me try this one. There we go, there we go. Right, let it all come out. I don't think I've ever seen a washer bottle that holds so much water.
undo this here. There we go. A bit more will come out there now. Excellent. You see, I've got access to the pump now. So maybe it's not getting any voltage. Let's disconnect the electrical connections to it. All looks very clean, to be fair. Yeah. Oh, and they've very kindly labelled it up as well. Positive and negative. So now, why is this not working? This might be one for the blue mat, I'm wondering, because then I can quite easily just use my bench power supply to get 12 volts to it. I suppose what I could do though is I could get my multimeter and see if we're getting 12 volts to here, or any voltage whatsoever. Yeah, 12 volts. 12 volts here. If we're getting 12 volts here, I'm going to take this home and put it on the blue mat and see if we can free it up. Right, so I've got it running again. My dad's going to press the washer in a minute and we'll see whether it jumps up. So, right, he's going to press it now. Yes, it does. The weird thing is, it's not staying on for very long. Why is it not staying at 14 volts? Because you can see the other motor spinning away. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the motor back on it and see what it does. Right, you can see now that the washer one's fully spinning. Yeah? But this one's not doing anything at all. This is the windscreen one up top. Yeah, okay. So, how about, because this is 12 volts as well, how about if I swap the pump from here, which we know works, onto this one here? Right, so I'm going to start the car one last time tonight, and then see what happens when we do the, see if this one spins when we do the, you know, with the headlights on, and see if that one does nothing, see if it kind of does the opposites. Okay, so the headlights are on, so when it presses, both of them should be working. So now let's see. Right, okay. Ah, that's spinning it. Okay, so electrically it's working. Look, can you see there? Excellent. But this one, it's not doing anything. Right, okay. 100% we've proved it now. So we're back on the blue mat and I'm going to be applying some power to this from this bench power supply here. So I'm going to put in around about 12 volts. I mean, we've seen it jump up to 13 or 14, didn't we, on my multimeter? So I'm going to put in 12 volts. I'll mess around with the current, but let's see if we can free it up. What I'm thinking is to go positive, negative, negative, positive, positive, negative, negative, positive, to try to get the motor twitching. I'm thinking it hasn't been used in so long that the motor's just got, not necessarily seized, but where the contacts are making the contact, it's got a bit tarnished. If I can somehow start moving that motor, then I reckon it might kick in. Right, so when I put the pliers in here, you can see it only goes so far, but then springs back on itself, so it's not actually turning. Let's see if we can get this moving. So I don't care which way we go. That's good, I can hear it trying. It's not moving at all. But I can hear it trying to move. Oh, there we go. Look, 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 look. Oh my. Right, hold on, is that the correct way? Yeah. Positive and negative, right. So it's going that way round. I wonder if I was to hold this here and help it round, would it free it? Nah. Come on. Whoa, that's weird. I mean, it's turning, so that would have freed. The motor would have moved now, but it's still not... do you know what? It mustn't be like a seized motor like you get in the old toy games then. Because look, that's turning now. That would definitely be onto a new contact part, you know. Right, I am going to up the voltage to, I'm going to go all the way to 14. See if we can, there was a 12 volt motor, let's see if we can get it going.
That's a real shame. I thought it would be starting to free up by now. Right, I'm going to whack the current right up just in case it needs a huge amount of current. I am at 8 amps. Oh, come on. Well, put the current up max. Let's see what that is now. I think it's 10 amps. Yeah, 10 amps. Love to get this moving. Oh my word. Look. It's starting to go. Did you hear that one? Oh, wow. It's the wrong way, but I don't care. Oh my god. Yes! Come on. Oh my. I think we've got it back into life. Let's see if it's going to do it this way. Oh, you beauty. Oh, yes. Oh. Amazing. Right, let's lower the amps right down and the voltage down to 12. Oh my god, I didn't think we were going to get that. What a result. Right, let's put the current right down. I mean, I don't know what it's going to be drawing on the car. I presume on car, the battery must be given kind of all of its current at once, isn't it? I wonder, does it step it down for... Well, mind you, when it's running off the alternator. I don't even know what the current's supposed to be on a car. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you if it's like 10 amps, 20 amps, or whether it's just like 1 amp or something. I'm going to pop it down to 2 amps. That seems like a small amount, doesn't it? Right, 2 amps. Now let's see, is it going to go? Oh, it'd be great. I wonder, is it just going to seize up again straight away? Come on. Yeah. Result. You're not supposed to run them dry though, are you? Right, okay, so negative on. Come on now. You beauty. I can't do it any more than that. Fantastic. Oops. It's quite dirty on the inside, you know. Do you know what? I'm going to do it a few more times to clear it out because I don't want all that junk there in my jets. That's very dirty. So what, do you think it was scale then? That did that? I really don't know. If you're ever interested in any My Mate Vince merch, check out pudult.com and you will find me over there, or go to the link in the description. Right, we need to get this back in the car. I presume this video is going to be ridiculously long already because I've had quite a bit of a headache and I think this is my 3rd day on it now. So a part day, not full days. Next time you see this, hopefully it'll be back in the car, and I won't start filming until I'm ready to do the windscreen washer, so you can see it hopefully work for the first time. Fingers crossed, but I don't know if that valve's going to be up to the operation. I still think I need a replacement valve, but 100% even with a replacement valve, it wouldn't have worked. This was completely locked up. Now it's freed, which is good. Right, I've only just connected them, but I'm getting my dad to press it, and sure enough, it's spinning. So if you look at this one now, you can see they're both spinning, which is fantastic. Spinning nice and strongly. Okay, so I've got it back together. I haven't put the wipers and stuff on yet, but if you have a look now, I'm filled right the way up. Can you see now? We're to here. Yeah, and there's no water cascading down. So the gravity thing's fixed. Now I need to find out whether that little puny valve is going to just blow up straight away, or whether or not it will work. Right, it's amazing how one simple job can just end up being a complete and utter nightmare. So, as you can see from the water around the place, it's working. I went to adjust them because they were spraying up rather than in, and this thing's just snapped straight off. And now, I mean, it's quite a novelty, but now if I get my dad to press the button, look at that, you can see how well it's working. Do it again. Look at the distance that's going. And again. Whoa, it's hitting the tree. That's how powerful it is. That is serious. I should leave it like that. It could be like a clown car. Anyway, look at this one here. So that's working. Right, I'm just going to shut the engine off. So look, it is fixed. I now need to try and source a new one of these, but it isn't such a nightmare now because I only have to push the bumper against the spring, undo the 2 screws, undo the Jubilee clip, put the new one on, and then clamp it back on. So it's not actually a nightmare. And yeah, it certainly is shoving out a good amount of water. I can't believe the distance that travels. I am tempted to keep it like that. Now, this is interesting. Well, when I bought the car, it had a nice surround on here. It didn't have a surround on here. And the reason why is because this surround, it should clip into place, but it doesn't. It was held in with a bit of mastic. But look here, it doesn't fit because this is not original. So it just shows you the Rolls Royce one is still okay. The other one is not okay, and they are adjustable because when I had it off before I could see it's like on a ball socket thing. But what I've done is, just for the time being, because I'm thinking, can you still get the Rolls Royce ones? I don't know, I need to do research into it. Why did they put a non-standard part in? Annoyingly, the cover's missing as well, so if I do find the original I still have to find the cover. But what I did is I just super glued it back into place and used super glue activator to make it go off. Now if you have a look, can you see it working there, and also there we have it. Fantastic. Okay, so I've got the wipers back on and just plates here, the grills temporarily. The weird thing is, and I need help in the comments on this one, there's massive missing spots on the window. So the wipers only go to here and up to here. So this whole triangle here is missing. Also, this wiper only comes to here. Yet, I can't have it any higher than it is now, because when you have it on intermittent, it does this kick thing. So it's kind of resting here, and then when you turn it off, it kicks back down here. Right, watch this. If I put it to run, and then if I go down to intermittent here, so this is where it sits when you're driving. See? And I don't really want it any higher than when it's on intermittent. But now watch, if I put it into slow here, oh, just to show you the washers working. Can you see that there now working? But look at that massive bit here that's missed. Surely that's not right, because that's kind of in your viewing thing, and it only goes as far as here. I appreciate the windows getting dry now, but they're not going far enough. I don't think anyway. So good news is, at least we do have the washers working now on the window, and also the headlight washers as well, because definitely on the window they're an MOT failure. So yeah, that is it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It didn't go completely to plan. Apologies, it's probably a very, very long video. Lots of work went into this one, but I think we got there in the end. Definitely made some progress, and yeah, we can worry about the wipers in another episode. So that is it. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you all very soon. Take care.